Joining us now on behalf of her go-to protein drink, Rockin' Protein, is Naomi Girma of the USWNT. Naomi is also the newest member of Team Rockin', a roster of top athletes who don't compromise on their protein drinks any more than they compromise on their ambitions. Naomi, thanks for joining us, and I'd love to know more about how this partnership came to be.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm like you said, I'm the newest member of Team Rockin', and I'm very excited about it. Um, this is a World Cup year for me, so big year on the field. So I think just going into the year, I knew recovery was something that I really wanted to prioritize. But I also didn't want to give up um, the flavor. I'm a bit of like a picky eater, drinker. So partnering with Team Rockin' was just like a no-brainer. Great flavor, um, good nutrients, sustains energy. So yeah, I'm really excited that to kind of have them as like a staple in my training regimen now, and in the build up to the World Cup.
Ahead of the World Cup, you also turned pro right out of Stanford and ended up as the first overall pick in the draft. At what point did you sort of have this feeling that, okay, you might get taken first?
Oh, I had like a little bit of like conversations beforehand, and yeah, I mean, I think just hearing my name in the draft was just like hearing the confirmation was such a cool moment for me. I was with my friends and we just celebrated together. So yeah, it was a really big moment. It started my professional career, and I'm just so happy it landed me in San Diego.
Yeah, you're playing there now, but you're also pursuing a master's degree at Stanford. How have you managed to pull that off?
It's not been easy.
Yeah,
I'm on
barely.
Yeah. I'm took a leave of absence this quarter just to focus going into the World Cup. But all of last year I took a few units during while playing, and yeah, education has always been really important to me, and I was accepted into this master's program before I left Stanford, and they offer it part-time. So I thought, I should just do it. And yeah, I've learned a lot, and it's like I enjoy the program, so I think that makes it a lot easier to feel motivated to do it.
You mentioned that you're a bit of a picky eater, or at least like you demand flavor. You're in San Diego. It's one of the best food cities. Like, what are your go-to spots?
Ooh, I like um I like La Perla and Karina's Tacos for Mexican food, which is very good in San Diego. Um, let's see. I go to it's called Red Sea, which is an Ethiopian restaurant, which I would argue gives the most flavor of any food I eat. So yeah, there's a lot of good spots. I still have a list of places I want to try, and I've been living there for a year.
Yeah, I was there for like 4 days, and I the list was long, so I can
Yeah,
only imagine.
yeah.
So we're heading into the World Cup. It's your first World Cup. Who have you spoken to? I assume a number of USWNT icons at this point. Who's done the most, maybe, to prepare you for what you should expect? I know you've been playing professionally alongside Alex Morgan for a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely say Alex, just being together in the club environment and here has been great for me. Like starting last year, going into my first camps, and just having someone to like give you a little bit of advice, and just kind of like clue you into what to expect. So going into World Cup, she's definitely been a great support for me and has helped me a lot.
And it's now your turn to sort of step into Becky Sauerbrun's role. How has she helped prepare you a little bit for that transition?
Yeah, she's been great. I think I've learned a lot just playing alongside her. And like the way she communicates, the way she defends, the way she leads. So yeah, I think just I've like the greatest learning is probably like seeing them in action, more than like anything she could tell me. So I think that like throughout this year and last year, getting to play alongside her has been really influential on me and has helped me a lot.
I also spoke to Julie Ertz a few weeks back when the roster hadn't been released yet. Like, she was fighting for it. She didn't know if she'd make it or not. And now that she is going to be, competing alongside you, what does it mean to you and what does it mean to the team that, she officially fought her way back to join the roster heading into this important international competition?
It means a lot to the team. I mean, her impact on this on the U.S. women's national team has been like massive over the years. So I think to have her with us, both as a player and a leader, is really great for us. And yeah, I just think having someone who's lived it and experienced it is always very helpful.
What is sort of the toughest challenge that you anticipate this edition of the team facing in World Cup play? And what about for yourself personally as well? What's like the number one thing that you're looking to overcome heading into this tournament?
I'm not sure. I I think I know the obstacles and the challenges will present themselves as we go, but I think just for this group, staying together and just relying on each other to really face them and attack anything that gets in our way is what's most important. I think that like talking to other players, that's been what's most important in World Cups in the past as well. So I think staying true to that and just making sure that we stay as one collective unit is really important.
I read your Sports Illustrated story as well, and it becomes immediately clear that your family is extremely important to your progression as a soccer player and soccer star, and you picked it up from your father. Tell me a little bit more about how your father's passion for soccer led you into developing your skills and pursuing this path.
Yeah, my dad, well, both my parents grew up in Ethiopia and came to the US in their 20s. So, in Ethiopia, soccer is very, very popular. So my dad played growing up. That's his favorite sport. He's always loved it. And when me and my brother were born here in San Jose, he wanted us to have a way to play, and so he started this organization called Malada Soccer Club, and it was just where the Ethiopians in the Bay would get together and play soccer on Saturdays. It's very informal, but yeah, that his love for soccer is why I started playing, and I quickly realized why he loved it so much and fell in love with it myself. So yeah, that was like when I was probably like 4 or 5 when I started playing, and I never looked back.
The piece also mentions like your friend Jenna, a time when she takes you to practice, you put the shin guards on wrong, and she's like, "What, this girl?" But then you get out there and like dominate everybody anyway from the jump. Like, do you recall that moment as well? What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, I remember her grandpa picked us up from the YMCA after school program, and we were getting ready in the car. And yeah, I tried to put my shin guards on outside my socks, which is what I did. And she was like, like, oh my God, Naomi, what are you doing? And I just remember being like very nervous to, step outside my comfort zone of playing on the weekends at the park and like actually going to a team's training the coach with organized matches, with jerseys and everything. It was like a very different, different experience from what I had had in the past. So, yeah, I was grateful that I was riding with my friend Jen and I didn't show up looking crazy.
I'll wrap with this too. In the piece, I've got two more if that's all right. The piece mentions sort of a letter from Jenna's younger self to her older self, where she's talking and she hopes that you are still competing. If you were to write a letter to that younger version of yourself now, what would you tell her about how far you've come?
Ooh, um, I would tell her we made it pretty far. And yeah, just like to be confident, don't second guess yourself, and just enjoy the ride. I think like youth soccer sometimes gets stressful when it should be enjoyable, and that's like pressure from outside and just a lot of different things that go into it, like scholarships for college, like all these things. So I would just say like it's gonna work out. Just enjoy it and keep having fun with your friends.
And speaking of the opposite of stressful, I also watched you describe your celebrations on the pitch. You called yourself a woo girl. I would love if you could expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, I actually think I learned that term in college, and we'd be like, some girls are just like sometimes like you're just a woo girl, and like everything gets you like cheering and like you know Like just yeah, I feel like I'm someone who will like cheer on my teammates, and um like a woo girl isn't just like in on the field, it's like off the field, like you get excited, you're like you just you want to cheer. So yeah, I think woo girl definitely is an accurate description of me. I know there are more on the team, I'm not the only one.
Well, Naomi, thank you so much. Best of luck in the World Cup. And where can fans who are looking for Rockin' Protein find it?
Just your local grocery store, convenience store, anywhere. I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Naomi, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing that chemistry in action.
Thank you.